What is the trajectory for an anxious person? Anxious attachers are the closest thing to secure. Partially because all they need is to be close to someone, and we're already social creatures. And so it's easy to get close to people. It's easy to find people to get close to, and that lends a sense of security. Also, very often, especially with friends, and you get to hang out with them most often in a good place, is that you have a choice and they have a choice around when to hang out. And so when you hang out when one person is in a bad place, then there's an opportunity to co-regulate or to support each other, whether it's through co-regulation at a primal level or just to offer emotional support, which is another form of co-regulation. And that's relatively easy to do. So people who are anxious who just need to finish learning that little bit of trust so that it can be at peace in the world and in their own reality and their own self, that's the shortest path from anxious to secure. So what does it take for an anxious person to get there? Well, it takes the ability for them to be by themselves and to be creating security for themselves, not just with co-regulation, but the ability to co-regulate themselves through the parts of them that are able to do that. So in that case, it could look like the more mature part of you supporting the less mature part of you. Creating that relationship is a step towards greater security for an anxious person. Whereas in the past, they would need somebody outside of them. But most adults have reached a level of maturity and the level of awareness that supports them in just knowing what it's like to be a little child, like through their inner child, but also knowing what it's like to be an adult and to be able to handle things and not stress out about things and being a little bit more chill. And most anxious people have that available. They know that inside themselves because they've been in the world, they've engaged in the world from a mature place. So it's totally available to them, but it takes practice. My partner has a little bit of anxiety, and so whenever that part of her shows up, which feels like her little girl, she doesn't always think, oh, there's already a mature part of me that I can use to regulate my little girl. So she often looks for me to help her with that. And I can tell the difference of maturity when she engages with me from that place of the little girl. And then the little girl is sort of hijacking her whole person to a degree. And the mature person is just not available. It's kind of offline. And sometimes I'll do that. So I'll say, hey, how's your little girl feeling? And what about the part of you that's a little bit more mature? Can you bring her online as well? And then you can have a conversation. And I do this with my clients all the time.